On top of new bonus leaks of episode 9, we were also given the real names of each of the circus members in the digital circus that all stemmed from this first leaked image said to allegedly be the final credit scene of the show's finale, as at the top here we can faintly see directed by Gooseworks, as well as association with Glitch Productions. Only lower down in the image, we additionally saw the same office computer Kinger used in episode 8, only this time there was something new on the homepage. Some sort of programming that went along with all of the circus members' alleged real names shown slightly lower on the bottom right hand side of the image. For starters, we were shown Pomni next to the name Elizabeth that also went along with the character's actual voice actor. The fact that the two names here essentially matched together definitely stuck out as suspicious, only the name of the next character, Gangle, was another story. For Gangle's name, we were shown Jenna, a name that clearly differs from the name of Gangle's voice actor, which also went along with Kinger's real name we were given here, Grant. But before getting to our other alleged names, how do we know if these first ones we were given were actually legit or not? Well, it turns out for starters, we've seen how Kinger's name from the list here actually matched together perfectly with what we were officially shown in the show during episode 8. You see, during this specific part of the episode where Kinger programmed the computer to delete Kane, we saw Kane's coding in the computer essentially have a conversation with Kinger. Only during this actual conversation, Kane's coding just so happens to address Kinger by his real life name. We were told Kane is communicating with Kinger through the code, also Kinger's real name, which actually included two distinct possibilities, with the first being the name Damon that fans were able to pick out from all of the lines of code shown on the computer screen, as well as this other name possibility, Grant. So which one of the names is actually supposed to be Kinger's for sure, and how do we know? Well, we were told how our first option, Damon, actually connected to the idea of a program that runs in the background, so it basically can't be his name, showing us how Grant was left as our only other option Kane could have used to address Kinger, which is where our previously mentioned name list comes into play, as the name we were given from Kinger from this list matches together with what the show has already confirmed for us. Only things got even more interesting with the reveal of our other names from the list, as on top of the first three, we were also told how Zubal's real name is Marcia, Ragatha's real name is Jillian, and Jax's real name is Liam. But besides these names fitting together relatively well with each of the characters, how do we know for sure that these ones were meant to be legitimate? Well, it turns out the timing we were given this entire list in the first place is what finally helps us piece together what's really going on here. You see, this newer leak essentially went along with the release of a whole separate one that was discovered around the same time. An entire movie listing for the show's final episode that included an entire description for what could actually happen in it. But what would this leak have to do with this other one released around the same time? Well, we know in the case of this first one that what we were shown here ended up actually being more legitimate than we first realized. As it turns out, shortly after its original discovery, the movie listing ended up being taken down completely, pointing to the idea of Glitch accidentally giving us this information early, resulting in them changing their mind and removing it shortly after. Looks like someone launched the page too early and took it down, which went along with proving how what we were looking at in this case was likely to be legitimate after all. And seeing how this leak also went along with the list of the characters' real names being discovered around a day later, there's definitely a strong possibility that what we were looking at here was legitimate as well. Something that went along with this next leak that was said to have been even more important than our first one. This time we were given an alleged early audio of Jax crying behind the scenes, telling us there's a strong likelihood of something sad happening to him in the finale. We're told specifically, why did Jax's voice actor leak this mysterious audio of Jax crying? It's definitely going to end up in episode 9 of the digital circus. I hope they don't cut it from the series and replace it without warning. Going along with a strange sounding sort of behind the scenes audio file. But how do we know if what we're shown here is meant to actually pop up in the next episode or not? Well, we're told how what was revealed here has a strong possibility of being something internal with someone from the dubbing studio, going along with the idea idea that it might have been from the Spanish dub of the episode rather than the English version. Only this isn't actually the first time we've gotten reports of a Spanish audio dub leak from Jax specifically. See, the first time around, a few short weeks ago, Digital Circus fans were able to dig up another now deleted post from Jax's Spanish voice actor that depicted a scene of Jax crying again, just like this other clip, as well as coughing. I repeat, Jax's Spanish voice actor posted a clip of Jax crying and coughing. OMG, we win. Only along with this original clip, we were also given extra details that told us more about what we should be expecting for future episodes of the show. Something that could very well have something to do with what we're meant to see in the show's finale. You see, on top of this early clip, Jax's Spanish voice actor also revealed to us a caption that had a frog and a bunny, clearly referencing some sort of scene with Ribbit and Jax that also went along with the idea of Kaufmo additionally being involved, as there was also a depiction of a clown grouped together with the frog and bunny, bringing up the idea of Jax's crying potentially being linked to either Ribbit or Kaufmo, as there's no real way to know yet. But how do we know for sure that this idea has a potential to pop up in episode 9 after all? Well, it turns out the idea of Ribbit being involved in Jax's future problems is already something the show's creator Gooseworks has told us about early. It all started with a Digital Circus fan expressing how Ribbit should have definitely played a bigger role in the show by now, and how they wish she would have popped up in episode 8. Only Gooseworks ended up responding to this idea in a very interesting way. There's 9 episodes, you weirdos, clearly implying how while Ribbit wouldn't be popping up in episode 8, there would still be time for Ribbit to play a bigger role in the show's finale, something that perfectly connected to this previously mentioned scene of Jax allegedly crying about his old friends in the circus. Only our final spoiler revealed even more towards the finale, as it finally helped spell out for us exactly what we'd see happen in episode 9 as a whole. An entire secret message left behind for us addressing the actual possibility of the circus members finally escaping, the ending of the show. It turns out this first message was actually uncovered by Digital Circus fans all the way back in episode 5. You see, during a very brief moment in this episode, we heard Bubble make a very distinct sound. Only it turns out there was more to this sound than we first realized. When slowing the sound down, it was able to be translated into this, going along with a line of Morse code. Morse code that spelled out the following message for us. This is what people are claiming Bubble is saying. You need to remember your name to escape. But what would this strange message have to do with the show's finale, and how do we know it'll be important? Well, I'm able to put together everything else we're told about this finale for you early into this video right here. So for what we know about the final episode of the show before it gets released, make sure to check it out.